Today I've been checking out 63 Days, which is out now on almost everything, but I was playing on Steam. It's $24.99, but currently you can grab 15% off. 63 Days is basically set in the short-lived Polish rebellion against Nazi forces in World War II. It's a stealth RTS game, but very stealth focused. I always find stealth in games is very hard to get right, and finding that level between making it challenging, engaging, realistic and satisfying versus just plain annoying and the mechanic in the game everyone hates is a fine line. Unfortunately, this game leans a little bit too much into the latter. The action takes place over 6 missions and you will control 5 characters in total, usually using 2 or 3 each mission, and each one has a range of abilities which are going to help you achieve your goals. Like Helga can heal people, another one has throwing knives for example, alongside the usual strangle, drag, throw stones, distraction type things. The missions are varied and take place in a large set piece area like an airfield or a base, and you'll have an objective which you must achieve relatively unseen. If you get seen, usually you are dead. Not all the time, but the enemies have a super uncanny knack of being able to lob a grenade over a wall from 20 foot away and score a direct hit every time. Obviously, you have to move slowly, in cover, and think about what you're doing, taking out the guards as you go, looking at their patrol patterns and stuff like that. However, what I did like is you can tailor in the options hints, markers and stuff to kind of show you or help you out where to go. Also, to help you achieve this, you do have a planning mode, but I found this a little underbaked and found it easier just to control the action myself, as in planning mode, syncing up moves doesn't actually sync them, which is a little bit weird. I also will say I did find the character abilities a little bit lackluster and not massively useful in most situations. Like, why can only one guy shout at an enemy to lure them? It should be everyone. I think the abilities need looked at and shared a little bit more between characters. Unfortunately, for a stealth focused game, I also found the stealth mechanics to be a little bit too clunky. Pathfinding an AI can be a bit of a nightmare, which leads it to become more like a save and load spam simulator at times. You can go into combat mode, but again, it does not work great and suffered from quite a few issues. However, the missions are varied, you might have to find keys and stuff like that, so there is different things to do. So story-wise is generally presented via cutscenes. These are semi-dynamic stills with a voiceover. I can't really say I gelled with the 2 brothers that were leading the band of resistance, I just didn't quite believe it. However, they had some good banter, some of it was a little bit funny, but on the whole it was a little bit forgettable. However, I will say it's great to see a story and war period that I've never seen covered before. Graphics wise, I think it's a decent looking game, nice lighting, and it really does a good job of setting an oppressive atmosphere, like it really does feel like that. The cutscenes are pretty decent too. Sound wise, I mean it's a bit more on the basic side, but it's not too bad with some nice effects. So in conclusion for me, I think the story has something interesting to say. I like the way that it does offer that mix of stealth and combat options, but unfortunately neither felt great. Remaining undetected is really hard, and it's just a constant trial and error method or working out how to cheese the enemies. Like, okay, well I'll just leave them all in this like corridor and shoot them one at a time. Open combat is just down to luck, and there's just a bit too much bad AI. I just feel like it didn't quite get the basics right, which led it to be more of a frustrating experience. If they could rework some of the core mechanics and improve the stealth and combat, it would be a wishlist recommend. But unless if you're super into stealth RTS games, I'm not sure there's a whole lot more here for you. And that's a bit of a shame. Anyway guys, that's all I've got to say on this one. Catch you all later. Goodbye.